Hey church family, we are right in the middle of the summer. And one of the things I really appreciate about this time of year is that it provides a little bit more time to connect with people that we care about, but maybe also people that haven't experienced the hope that only Jesus can bring. I'm looking forward to doing that this summer with some friends of ours. And yet if you're like me, I often have this tension where I have trust in the relationship, but I don't always know how to bridge from everyday conversation to more meaningful spiritual conversations. Well, if you can relate to that at all, we want to help serve you this fall through an event that we're hosting called Alpha that you maybe heard us talk about. And really the whole reason we're doing this is to help you bridge that gap between the everyday conversation and those more meaningful topics about faith and life. And so with that in mind, as we're right in the thick of the summer, I want to leave you with this question: who will you invite? Who will you invite to Alpha this fall? I would love it if everyone that calls our church family home is thinking of someone, asking the Lord to give us a face or a name of someone that we hope to invite into our Alpha kickoff at the end of September. Now, inviting doesn't mean that they'll say yes. We can't control that. But I really believe that if each of us invites one person, that Alpha will be well worth the effort we're putting into it to make it a positive experience. Now, with that said, here's a few questions that you might have in order to feel comfortable making that invitation. Alpha is really for three main groups of people. Number one, it's for unchurched people who are spiritually curious. Number two, it's for new believers. Maybe you've been a part of our church for a relatively shorter amount of time. It's a great opportunity to have a strong foundation in the faith. Well, then third, Alpha is great for people who maybe have been following Jesus for a long time, but are in a season where they're feeling significant doubts. So if that's you, or that's someone you know, someone that's unchurched, someone that's newer to the faith, or someone that has significant wrestlings, even though you've been a part of a church for a while, we'd love to invite you to Alpha. A fourth group is actually the friend of one of those people. So if you invite one of those people, we also want you to come, but only to the very first week. We're going to have a kickoff where you're going to get to be that bridge between your friend and the table host who will be there every week, making them feel welcomed and helping them connect with those at the table. So we ask that you would come 1 week, and then after that, let your friend have their space to wrestle with these questions. Here's what you're inviting your friends to. You are inviting your friends to just one night, not multiple weeks, one night. September 24th at 6 o'clock here at the church, we're having our Alpha kickoff. And that night will be really similar to the Taste of Alpha event if you got to be a part of that, but it's going to be a shared meal around a table with some new friends, a short video that talks a little bit about Alpha, and then after that, just easy conversation, getting to know one another around the table. We're not going to go deep that first night, but the hope is that they would get a taste of Alpha, and then at the end, we're going to extend an invite for them to come back that next week. But we don't want you to invite them to multiple weeks. That's too much to say yes to. But when I say invite one person, that's what we're saying. Invite them to that one event, and then hope that the Spirit moves to bring them back. There's no one right way, of course, to invite your friends. That's where you got to rely on the Spirit to open an opportunity. But we do have cards like this that'll be around the church all summer. It has a QR code on the back where people can register for the event. And so inviting a friend could be as simple as snapping a picture of this and texting it, inviting them that way, or in person. You could say something like this: hey, have you ever heard of Alpha? No, not really. Well, it's basically a dinner party where we have conversation about life and faith, and our church is hosting a kickoff. I'd love for you to come and join me as a guest. And again, you can't control their answer, but we can be faithful to invite. So church, let me ask again, who will you invite? If each one of us invites one friend to one night, then we will have done our part to be faithful and leave the results up to God. So who will you invite? I believe God could use Alpha this fall to help us grow as thoughtful witnesses and to reach those that we care most about with the hope of Jesus. Can't wait to see what the Lord does. Have a great rest of your day.